Alright, one day I was on YouTube and I came across a video called "Is This the Average Male Fantasy?" by a woman called Shoe-on-Head. Now in the video, she brings up a post from Twitter that talks about the average male fantasy, and it uses a clip from Jose, the Tiger and the Fish, the movie, as an example. You know, because the movie's a romance movie about a disabled girl and a boy just helping her out, I guess. I haven't watched the movie myself, but I have read about it. Now apparently under that post, people are commenting things like this: wholesome male fantasy and fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control.
What?
I didn't see that in the movie description. Now she goes on to show that there are more comments like this that say, always vulnerable, always happy, always need you, pretty perverted. His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make a sandwich. Sounds about right. Man, someone is projecting hard. And it continues. This one states the average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservient and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Now after finishing this video, it really got me thinking, what the hell are people on Twitter smoking? You know, sometimes I think I'm crazy, but then I actually look, watch, and see how people act and, you know, respond to things and their opinions, and I realize I'm actually the same one. That's not right. That's not logical. Now, Ricky, I haven't even watched the movie, but I can read. You know, I'm a black man that actually has the skill of reading. Now, I'm being sarcastic, haha. But no, I can also see. And all I see here is a cute, innocent romance anime story. Now, I know anime is known for its fan service and the sexualization of women and men, but this is not that. These comments had me perplexed. Everybody on Twitter must be smoking that stuff, and I wasn't invited to the party. There are people in those comments that actually think it's weird for an adult man to have a physical relationship with a disabled woman. I'm confused, because me using my 2 cents, I thought that most people generally want to find true love, even if they are disabled. And if they're consenting adults, which Josie is, she's 24, so they should be able to make that decision for themselves. This isn't weird, this is wholesome. Everyone wants love, blind, deaf, or crippled. And the young man here is a 22-year-old college student, meanwhile she's 24. And from what I've seen and read about, he's only really helping her around. She's not overly sexualized either, she's just cute. Oh, but apparently if she's cute and she's an anime girl, she looks like a child. Give me a break. Ultimately, the author decides whether it's a child or not the viewer. That's a very simple concept. The one who creates the story creates all the rules. Anyway, after watching the video, I got curious. So I went on Twitter to find more comments related to this post, and I found things like this. Apparently, this person thinks the average male fantasy is having a childlike girlfriend who cannot fend for herself or take care of herself. Nah, you just want an animate, and she didn't even spell the word right, it's inanimate, child sex doll. So apparently, viewer, according to this feminist, and yes, it is a feminist, I checked her page, apparently she's what they call a radical feminist. Shocker there, right? This feminist apparently thinks that you as a man wanting a loving relationship is weird because she feels you only want that relationship to have someone to control. You know, some of you may think of me as a pervert, but of course I don't give a fuck. Think what you want. There is nothing weird about a man wanting wholesome, true love. In fact, if most men got what this kid got in this story, they're probably a lot less perverts. If they're both consenting adults, it shouldn't matter if she's disabled or not. Everyone wants love. No one wants to die alone. We are human beings. We are meant as man and woman to get together and do the do. To ultimately get freaky and reproduce. Everything that lives has to reproduce or multiply in some way. There's a fact that cannot be denied. And I don't care if she's disabled, if you're horny enough, you're gonna find a way. Now, I actually did some research on this. I wanted to find out if a woman who had a spinal cord injury, or you know, more or less someone who couldn't use their legs anymore, could still get the job done. You know, get busy! I'm not perfect, I swear, I'm just a curious person. There's a reason my inner voice is a cat, people, and life has not killed me yet, so I must roam. Now, I found that people who have a spinal cord injury do not lose their sexual desire and can still have a rewarding sex life. Having intercourse after a spinal injury is a lot like having intercourse for the first time all over again. People who approach intercourse with an open mind and a willingness to experiment to find out what works and does not work after their injury tend to have the most success and reported satisfaction. I understand what that means. You just gotta get a little creative. I can do that. I got an A+ in art class in creativity. My teacher told me I had to stop drawing Tickle Biggies though, but the class loved it. The teacher just being a little hater. Anyway, I also read that many parts of your body can feel good and provide a pleasant sexual response, and these parts are called the erogenous zones. Ho, now we're getting somewhere. If you don't understand what this means, you're basically taking the party upstream, if you know what I mean. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Use your imagination. Now, I also read that some people have reported heightened sensitivity in areas where they can still feel. Alright, that's a pro. Also, some people report increased ability to achieve drew the use of vibration. Oh, some of you disabled girls out there are some freaks. Y'all can't fool me, I know what y'all be doing. Y'all be going to Toys R Us, but don't be getting no toys. Hoo-hoo, sensational. Now, with that being said, I think whether a person is blind, crippled, can't hear, can't jump, can't get off the short bus by themselves, tragic. Hold up, what's my point? Oh yes, she'll be able to get the D. Now, I joke around because I know in the Claymore video, I did say that the Claymore was having that little cut disability, whatever it was called, was nasty. But it was only because I thought it was nasty was the reason that I wouldn't touch a Claymore. Don't look at me like that. I know Claire is hot, but I have standards. And Claire does not meet them. Anyway, there are women in fiction that I would say I am down bad for. As a kid, there was a zombie movie I saw as a 9-year-old kid. I really shouldn't have watched this movie because it was an R-rated movie. But she was so hot. And she had a cool gun leg. That's badass, man. It was a movie called Planet Terror. But trust me, as a 9-year-old kid, I was not terrified at all of this movie. All I remember is this chick. In the movie, she's apparently a go-go dancer named Cherry Darling, who loses her leg in a zombie apocalypse and gains a machine gun appendage. And the actor who plays her is named Rose McGowan. And yes, she does eventually get laid in this movie, and as a 9-year-old kid, I saw everything. Oh yeah, shots were fired, but it wasn't from that machine gun. Anyway, the next one I gotta mention is Toph Beifong from Legend of Korra. Now, not Child Toph. You know, she's adorable, but I prefer the improved version. Hey, not that one. I said the improved version. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You want something else that's rock hard and you can bend? Damn night. Shut up, I have a type. Anyway, if you didn't already know this, Toph Beifong was born blind, but calling her disabled is like calling the Hulk the weakest. And apparently, after the formation of Republic City, Toph was placed at the head of its law enforcement and became the city's first chief of police. Girl went from thug life to I have a life now. Respectable, we all gotta grow up sometime. But she didn't only grow up. She grew up
and got busy!
Apparently sometime before 120 AG, Toph met a man named Kanto, whom he had a daughter with, named Lin. The relationship didn't work out. However, 6 years later, she had another daughter with an unnamed man named Suyin. And you know, I'm somewhat speculating that that unnamed man could be Sokka, but you know, that's just a theory of mine. Anyway, Toph went from bending metal to apparently bending over. And you know what? I'm not even mad at it. She raised a generation of badasses. I think Lin became a Republic officer, and her other daughter, Su Yin, became a rebel. And both became masters of earthbending in their own right. I enjoyed this character as a kid, so knowing that she got a satisfying ending at the very least is just satisfying for me. And I mean, seriously, half the time the show had to remind me that she was in fact blind. Hell, some of the characters forgot she was blind. She could see good enough to find her a man though. Let me stop. Anyway, last one on this list is aka Big Booty Barbara, aka also Batgirl, aka Barbara Gordon, aka God! Also known as the Oracle, and also known as GOAT! The GOAT! Now, if you didn't know this, in some point in her story, Batgirl was eventually shot by the Joker. Now, this shot paralyzed her, apparently from the waist down, and she could not walk anymore. Tragic. But did this stop her? Hell no! Girl renamed herself the Oracle and aided Batman with her computer expertise. This provided Batman with a constant stream of information in the field to aid his battle against crime. Even without legs, Girl is still more useful than Batwoman. Man hit her so hard she turned to a gay feminist. She said, F every man, especially this one. That bong sound was her losing all her fame in one hit. Anyway, did being disabled stop Barbara Gordon from doing the nasty? Hell no! Apparently in one comic, Girl would get some love from Nightwing, aka the first Robin, aka Dick Grayson, aka also the GOAT! The GOAT! Girl was getting it so good, she said, yeah, I don't know what you did to me, but now I can't feel my legs. When Dick's father named him, he knew what he was doing. He said I could name you John, Jim, Jerry, but no. Your name is Dick! The man was made for this. And you know what makes this scene even funnier? Apparently Dick Grayson only came over to invite Barbara Gordon to his wedding with Starfire. He was apparently getting married to Starfire that day. Girl immediately realized she was the cuck and the side chick and got pissed. The Joker may have shot Batgirl, but he wasn't the only one who did it during the series. Batman, y'all both nasty. Anyway, to answer my question, is it weird to date a disabled waifu? My answer to that is hell no. Almost every disabled waifu in fiction might well be known as the goats of fiction. You can't turn down Bat Booty. Even Bat Booty apparently can't turn down Bat Booty. It's canon to the story. And disabled people need love too, and men should not be shamed for wanting wholesome romance. And Josie is 24 and cute, so smash! I don't give a damn. And also head pats. Even a gooner guy like me would see this and say, would, and put a ring on it immediately. Now you guys leave what you think in the comments about this, and have a great day. Bye!